All right, let's give you a moderator. Hi, Daisy. All right, guys, let's wait a little bit for some people to come in. We just started the live, so it's going to be a bit quiet at first. I'm good, Daisy. How about you? It's been a bit of a slow morning for me, but overall, it's not too bad. Okay, we got 3 people in here. I'm just trying to contact a guy I know on Instagram so that he shares the live with tons of people and we get more people in here. But my phone is taking a bit long to load. Hello, Velos. Have I pronounced that correctly? Thanks. No worries, Daisy. No worries. All right. So here's what we'll do. Let's pin Daisy's channel up here. So everybody goes to Daisy's channel and connects with Daisy's channel because the live is starting to pick up now. So that's good. It's just my phone is. So how it works, guys, is I'm going to go into everybody's channels and I'm going to start watching their videos and everything else. You're Serbian. All right, nice. Hey, Felly, how you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you, Felly. Are you okay? It's been a while since I've seen you. All right, so we're going to Daisy's channel now. So let's go to channel. Oh, Daisy, you don't have any content. So you're more or less a supporter channel. Is that correct? Felly, I know you've got a channel. So let's go to, who can we put here? Who can we put here? We can go to Felly. That would be a pretty good. Felly, actually, no, Felly, can you put your main channel up? Like, put your main channel up so that we can support that channel, because your channel's really good for getting more people to subscribe to each other and, you know, all of that stuff. So it'd actually be a good. Yeah, I know it's your ninja channel, but I know you have a main channel where you do a lot of networking with people. So if we could get a link for that, Rakesh, let's put Rakesh down there. Wait for a while. No worries. Okay. Bon. Hey, how you doing? Do I speak Hindi? I don't speak any Hindi, guys. I only speak English. I don't understand any Hindi. I don't speak Hindi at all. Move. Hey Lily, how you doing? Okay, cool. So we got more people up here. Let's put Lily. Let's pin Lily. Lily's channel's like that's Lily's main channel, so we can put Lily's main channel up there, and everyone can go to Lily's channel, and you can start connecting, and you can start supporting each other. I did say, guys, we have to wait a little bit for the live show to really pick up. So now that we've got like 20 people up in here, we can really get the ball rolling. And give it a little bit of time. Some other people are going to come up here. So let's go to Lily's channel. Okay, one sec. All right, so I'm in your channel, Lily. We're going to start watching a few of your videos. So where's this? Fernster? Okay, somewhere in Germany. Lily, you're in Germany, aren't you, right? That's where you're at, isn't it? Let me just leave a comment. So yeah, go to the pin channel, guys. And how I normally do it is I watch 3 shorts videos and then a long video and then move on to the next person. And yeah, no emojis, guys. Don't do emojis. Emojis are irritating. Oh, okay, wait, hang on 1 second. 1 second. Someone's messaging me on Instagram. One second. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So everyone go to that channel and then leave a nice comment. And don't leave an emoji comment. Just do a comment that's more in line with what's going on. Yeah, my hair's kind of messy right now, but I don't really care. Okay, so everyone go to Lily's channel. Okay. All right, so now go to the long videos. Oh, I'm already up to date with a lot of your videos, Lily. Already up to date with quite a few of them. Let me go to the other one, Spanish summer vacation. So right now we've got some adverts up in here. I'm not going to skip the advert because obviously that helps you, so I'm not going to skip that. And over here, okay, so got the video there. And then once we're done with Lily's channel, then we're going to go to the next one. Okay, one banana. So that's you in Majorca. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Majorca. Okay, cool. So let's go to Jaylen. So Jaylen's next. Okay, that's Jaylen. All right, so if anybody has any new videos, then feel free to drop in the comment section. But okay, so we're gonna go to Jaylen next. You're cooking some, well, you're frying some eggs over here. I don't really like sunny side up eggs, to be honest. Can't really stand them. I have to mix that up or have scrambled eggs. I can't just have sunny side up eggs. It's not my. I mean, I'll eat if there's nothing else, but it wouldn't be my go-to option when it comes to choice of egg. What's good? Yeah, I'm good, Martin. I'm good. So let's go to the pin channel and watch a couple videos and drop a couple likes. And don't leave emoji comments, guys. Like, just watch the video and leave a comment that's relevant to what's going on. Those are the best comments. Nice egg, but I prefer scrambled. Yeah, you get loads of like. I already got quite a lot of nonsense comments in the live show already, and on the videos you get nonsense comments. But even still, you'll still get like more engagement that way, and it will push your content out to more people. So it's not, you know, too bad. You can delete those comments later. Cool. So thanks for the blue jacket. No worries, Martin. No worries. All right. So we're still over there. I'm gonna watch the next video. All right. So it's just more eggs. So I'm trying to multitask. So I've got like 5 people on Instagram messaging me for emails and all this other stuff. So I'm trying to. What else comes with? I'm trying to just do like 5 different things at once here. Okay, cool. So this is Jellen's like playing a game. What's your live show today? Is literally just connecting to other people. So it's just a networking live show. There's no real subject planned that I'm going to talk about or discuss. But if you have a subject or a question that you want to bring up, Martin, then feel free to share. But me in and of myself, my only purpose right now is to help other people get some followers, push their content out to a few more people, that sort of thing. So that's my agenda for today. But if you have your own, if you have a question that you want to bring up or a topic you want to bring up, I'm sure that maybe we can kind of like break into that. Oh, also, guys, I just made a new shorts video with me doing calisthenics work on the Olympic rings. So go to my shorts tab and check that video out and leave a comment and a like. Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, so Kate Extreme channel, thank you. Add as a moderator. Cool. So, Jelly, what is that? What sort of game is that? Some kind of pirates game. Stand here, my friend host. I'm still working. Yeah, no worries. If you got to work, do what you got to do. Like over here, I'm not going to force you to stop working just so you can pay attention to this. If you're working, focus more on like what your work is. Whatever it is that you're doing for work, focus on that. Yeah, no worries. You can keep it in the background, or if you guys need to leave, feel free to leave. Or if you want to stay, you can stay. It's just whatever you're doing that's more important. Focus on that. But I'm just watching your other video, Jaylen, and then we're gonna move on to someone else. Okay, cool. I That's that one done. So let's see who else. Just watch the shorts. Thanks, Martin. Martin, let me check your channel out. Oh, my arm. Yeah, like I do quite a few different things. Calisthenics is one of the fun ones, the ones that I'm not new to it, but I'm trying to break into like the super advanced set of exercises. Okay, wait, Martin's a new one. All right, yeah. So we're definitely I'm in your channel, Martin. I'm gonna watch your videos and I'm gonna subscribe to you and everything else. Oh, okay. I can see that you've also got a membership as well. Okay. Guys, if you want to join Martin's membership, Martin, what are the perks for the membership? Let me see here. So member only videos, live stream, loyalty badges next to your name. Okay. All right, that's not bad. I'm gonna watch some of your videos, Martin, and then I'm gonna subscribe to your channel. Also, guys, you shouldn't just subscribe to people's channels. You should like watch a couple of their videos, leave a comment, like, and then subscribe after that. But I'm gonna watch 3 of Martin Shorts videos. I'm gonna watch 3 of Martin Shorts videos, and then I'm gonna subscribe to his channel and watch one of his long videos. So that way it's more authentic. But yeah, so calisthenics, I'm trying to get to a point where I can do like a full planche. I can do a handstand, but I want to be able to get to a point where I can control it very well and do handstand walks. So walking on my hands, a full plank push up, human flag. I've almost got the muscle up. Muscle ups are really, for a guy who's my height and weight, it's very difficult. It Pull ups are easy. Pull ups are easy. Muscle up, a whole nother level. I've almost got to a point where I'm smooth with it, but I'll get it clean soon. So muscle up, full planche, planche push-ups, handstand walking, handstand push-ups. I can do a dragon flag already. Front lever and back lever, I've almost got that, but it's a lot of strain on my lower back. So I need to work on that a lot. I need to get in the gym myself. That's why I started the channel. Yeah, man. I'm glad I could, inspire you, motivate you to take your health and fitness seriously. I'm nearly finished watching your first video, Martin. I'm gonna watch the others. So obviously it's a nice morning where you're at. I need to build arm muscles and legs. You just need to be consistent with it. And even if you can't go to the gym, you can always do some workouts at home. There are tons of alternatives that you can do. You can also watch your calories and watch your protein intake as well. So you may not necessarily need to do so much on the active training side of things, but also just making sure that your diet is complementing your fitness goals as well. That is a key thing. So if you understand, the principles of calorie intake and outtake and stuff like that, then you don't need to work as hard in the gym. You just need to understand what role each food plays in your body and just making sure that you stay consistent with that. Okay, so nice morning view. Okay, so all right, that's that first one. So on the second one, bananas. I don't really like bananas, to be honest. I need to build on. I don't really like bananas that much. Like I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of bananas. I prefer apples, oranges, grapes, pineapples. Probably my favorite fruit. If I'm being honest with you, I'll check your video for beginner workout so I don't rip a ligament. I I don't actually have long videos yet, by the way. Like I've only been doing shorts and live streams because time wise, doing long videos hasn't been my priority. Plus, I'm trying to get my long videos to a very high professional standard. So if I was the one recording, I've said it a million times, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but if I was the one recording the long videos and editing it, the quality wouldn't be as good as what I want it to be. So I've got a cameraman and editor, and I've got my own private studio with this brand and everything else. So everything's there. We're just looking for a good time to actually get the ball rolling with that, where both of us are free with our projects and we can just record tons of videos in one day. But right now, both of us are so busy to where it can be quite difficult finding out a huge block of time for the both of us for him to come down because he doesn't live in London. The cameraman, he lives in like Manchester, so it's a thing where for him to come down, he comes to London every now and then, but finding a time where both of our free slots coincide, and obviously I've got the keys to the private studio, we can record content in there. It's a little bit difficult, so we're gonna figure that out. Genuine question: are you from London, good sir? Yes, I am. So, born here, raised here. London is home to me. But okay, Martin, I'm still watching your other videos. Hello, Sandy. How you doing? Let me give you a moderator. So, Sandy, if you have any videos, new videos, or anything like that, feel free to share. We're currently in Martin's video, and I'm just leaving a comment, and then I'm going to watch his long videos, and then I'm going to subscribe to his channel. So, everyone, go to the pin channel and give Martin some support, please. So, we have it here. I prefer grapes, bananas, but fruits. And Martin can probably see on his studio that I've dropped a few comments and everything else. So, all right, cool. So, done subscribing to Mark. And now watch me try making Korean steamed eggs for the first time. Okay, all right. No worries, Sandy. Yeah, you need to have an editor. You need to have an editor. You unless you're really good at it yourself. I'm okay with editing, but when it comes to making, because there's a lot of fitness influencers that I watch, right? And the way their videos and the cinematography behind it is very, very, very well done. Like it's very professional, very well done. So I've got the ingredients together. Like I've got the private studio, I've got the cameraman. Obviously, I know what I'm doing when it comes to fitness and everything else. It's just finding the time to fit it all in together. That is where things can be a little bit difficult. But so far things are going pretty well with the channel in terms of like just with shorts videos, managed to get monetized and nearly 10,000 subs. So it's going very good. But once I get the ball rolling with the long videos, then I have to commit to it. I don't want it to be a thing where I'm able to just create long videos for like 2 months and then take a long break from that because people are going to want more and more and more and more and more. I taught myself how to edit. Oh, okay. So, but your editing skills, though, you're self-taught, but your editing skills, would you say it's on par with some of the very, very top? Obviously, I don't know if you're into fitness content, but people like Athlean X and guys like that, like, would you say your editing skills are on par with their videos? So, could you make a video that's well edited like that? If you know what I'm talking about. So watch me try making Korean steamed eggs for the first time. Okay, so I'm still in your video watching. Thanks for sharing, Sandy. Korean food is actually very delicious, especially their Korean food is very, very nice. I need to learn more techniques. You know what? I should step up my editing skills a little bit more, but it's not even just the editing skills. Like I don't have the setup for the professional videos. The cameraman has the setup for everything. He's got like the huge ring lights and everything else, and I don't really want to have to carry that around London because my studio, it's not in the private studio I've got access to. I live in South London. It's in North London, like it's in like northwest central London. So I don't want to have to take like a whole camera set and everything else and go all the way to the other side of London with that. I'd rather someone else comes in and we meet at a certain time and maybe block out 3 to 4 hours of just recording content, and then from there, he edits it and then we post it on social media, and then I've got another person in the wing where they can help me with SEO, so keywords, hashtags, titles, thumbnails, things like that. And obviously I'll look at trending videos and try to emulate that as well so that it brings in more people. You're welcome, just dropping by, host. Yeah, have a good day, Sandy. Thanks for dropping by and thanks for supporting. Now I'm doing my storytelling skills. Yep. Martin, do you have Instagram? Do you have Instagram, Martin? Okay, so I've watched several of Martin's videos, liked and commented. Now I'm gonna go to someone else. Because my channel I speak in English, Jamaican, Creole, and a little Mandarin. Oh, okay. So so you can speak several languages then. Let me check this channel out. Taiwan. Okay. So you're Jamaican living in Taiwan. Okay, I see, I see. That makes sense. I do have one for my channel. It's like cool, okay. So yeah, I see it here in the about page. I see it here. Martin, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow your Instagram to give you a little bit more support over there as well. Do you post content frequently on Instagram as well? You don't have to. I'll still follow you anyway. But let me know what your activity is like on Instagram. Because with my Instagram, I don't post as frequently there as I do on YouTube. But my Instagram is pretty good. Like I've got quite a lot of followers and everything else. And a lot of people on my YouTube follow me on my Instagram as well. So it makes things a little bit easier coming back and forth between both platforms for me. And I wouldn't mind joining your membership as well. Not really more. Maybe you should get. Actually, Martin, let me ask. What's your goal for like YouTube? Are you trying to get to like 100,000 followers? And are you trying to because it looks like you've got travel experiences, food, cooking. Like you've got a very good like concept with your YouTube channel. So you could definitely make this thing really, really big. So I want to know like what's your goal with your YouTube channel? Are you trying to get to like 100,000 subscribers, million subscribers? Are you trying to make a business out of it, or is it just more for fun, just like vlogging? What's your agenda with it? Animal lovers, how are you, my dear friend? Hello, my dear friend. Let me give you a moderator. Before I started Instagram, then I changed to YouTube. Okay, I see. So you had your Instagram for that's kind of like me. I had my Instagram first, and then I eventually jumped to YouTube and TikTok and several other platforms. Instagram was like the first platform that I used for me. Okay, so initially you just wanted to document your journey, just essentially just have a bit of fun and just like vlog. That was pretty much it, yeah. But then you started to see like what the potential of building an audience and monetizing something that you actually enjoy doing, and then from there, did it become a bit more serious? Is that the story behind it? Then I was like directing to learning. Oh, okay, I see, I see. Yeah. So cool, yeah. I think it's a good idea. Like you want to monetize your passions as much as possible, especially if you want to, you know, live a life that you find a bit more enjoyable. I think there's a market for many, many things. Content such as yours, like people love traveling, foods from different cultures, things like that. So if you can showcase that in a very visually appealing way, which you do on your channel, then there's definitely a space to grow really, really big. I'm from Jamaica, living in Taiwan. Okay. How long you been living in Taiwan for? Yeah, you don't see that often. You don't. I have a friend from university who's from Taiwan, but he's like Taiwanese. But um, I should visit Taiwan at some point. I plan to visit him in maybe within the next year or so. These things are not necessarily 5 years. So you've been living in Taiwan for 5 years. Okay, all right. Tell us what's your experience in Taiwan so far? I would imagine in 5 years you it's nice over there, yeah? Okay, cool. So you plan to stay there for longer, or you're gonna live there for the rest of your life? Is that the plan, or you're just staying there for now and just sort of figuring things out? And you travel to Korea as well. I know many Korean. I know so many people from so many different countries. I know many Korean people. Tons of Korean people. There's a place in London called New Malden, not far from Kingston, and it's like a little Korea there. There's so many Korean people there. So many Korean people traveling now in Canada. Okay. I need to travel out more. In places where I've traveled, I need to I want to visit Korea, but America, funny enough, I've never been to America or Canada ever. And one of the reasons why is because for me, America just seems like another version of it just seems like a version of the UK where everybody's, you know, everybody has a weird accent. My apologies. But to me, it's the same place. It's just everyone sounds a little different. Vera, hey, how you doing? Okay, so we've gone to Mark. Let's go to Vera now. So everybody, if you can connect with Vera, Vera is a very, very great friend of mine. We've been supporting each other for a long time. If you want to make more friends as well, she's got a live show video that she does where you can connect with other people as well. So Vera's channel is definitely someone's channel that you want to subscribe, support, and follow. I'm also a member of Vera's channel. I've been a member for Vera's channel for, I don't know, it's been years, man. It's been like 2 years or so, Vera. Something like that. Vera was one of the people where when I first joined YouTube, she was like one of the first people I subscribed to. Her and Daisy Adulon. Daisy's like she's in the Philippines. Vera, where are you? Where are you, Vera, again? You're in Brazil? Are you in Brazil? It's Brazil, isn't it? Let me just go to your channel right now. Vera's in Brazil. I'm pretty sure it was Brazil. Portugal. Sorry, my mistake. My mistake. But yeah, Vera's got a whole load of content. And Vera, similar to you, Mark, Vera does a lot of travel content as well. So very good for you guys to support each other, connect with each other. And Vera has a membership. Martin has a membership. So who knows? Martin and Vera, you two could become members of each other's channel. Could support each other like that. And maybe connect with each other on other platforms as well. Chorico Village Rocks, how are you? I'm doing good. Let me give you a moderator. So any new videos that you have, you can drop that in the comment section and then we'll pin that. But for now, we're going to Vera's channel. We're going to go to Vera. Oh, and also, guys, I literally just made a new shorts video like an hour ago. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you can watch that video, it's only like 20 seconds. To be honest, it's probably the longest shorts video I've posted in a while. I don't post shorts videos longer than like 12 seconds. But I wanted people to see a little bit more of me doing some work on the Olympic rings. So if you can go over to that video, click like it, watch it. 20 seconds is not that long. So go there, click the video, like, give a comment. My rule with emoji comments is emoji comments are better than nothing, but ideally don't leave an emoji comment. So try to leave a comment that's a little bit more relevant to what's going on in the video. It doesn't even have to be like an in-depth comment about the technique or the exercise. It could just be something like, hey, nice watching. Something like that. I prefer that above emoji comments any day. But again, emoji comments are better than nothing. So if you could go to that video, leave a like and a comment. And if you could share it, then that would be great. But I don't expect you to share it if you don't want to. If that's too tedious for you, then it's absolutely fine. I understand that. A like and a comment will suffice. That would be more than enough. And that would help me out greatly, especially within the first hour, because I just posted it. Like the more engagement it gets quickly, the more YouTube will push it out to other channels. Streets of St. Paul, where are you from? I'm from London, UK. So I'm streaming in London and I'm currently in London right now. Streets of St. Paul, if you can go to Vera's channel and connect with her, that would be fantastic. Let me give you a moderator as well. And then next we'll go to Jokio Village Vlogs afterwards. Jokio, I know you from Village, don't I? Like Village live shows. Pretty sure I've seen you in there. So we've got Vera's latest video, which is just I'm watching Vera's latest video. It's just a 5-minute video. Nothing too long. No worries, Streets of St. Paul. Can I just call you Paul? It's just a shorter... Streets of St. Paul seems a bit, long saying that all the time. So I'd rather just call you Paul if that's okay with you. Love the accent. Thank you very much. Well, actually, no, wait. Are you a guy or a girl? Because obviously, if you're a girl, then maybe you might not appreciate being called Paul. But okay, if that works, then that's absolutely fine. I'll call you Paul. But yes, I'm from London. That's lovely accent. Cheers, thanks. So I'm gonna watch Vera's video. I'm watching it right now. Vera, you go to the spot a lot. I've noticed. Connected to you, Vera. I'll be back later to watch the long form video. Yeah, guys, there's no rush. You guys can watch the long videos whenever you want of each other. That's why I start with shorts videos. I always start with like the top 3 shorts videos of these people's channels. I watch it fully. I comment, and then if the long video isn't that long, like 5 minutes isn't that long, then I'll watch it fully. If it's like 10 minutes, then I'll watch a couple minutes, comment, and then I'll come back to it later and finish it off. But right now we're in Vera's video, and I'm just leaving a nice comment here. So yeah, guys, start with each other's shorts videos because it's quicker to get through. It's you know, they're short, so it doesn't take long to just, watch it and get give them some support. Let me just nice view. And the comment doesn't have to be long and a nice view or this looks good. Something like that. Okay. So now this is Vera's shorts video. She's just got video recording plane off in the distance. Come to my new video. Yeah, don't worry, Jockey. We're gonna go to you next. We're just giving Vera a little bit more time. We're gonna give Vera a few more minutes, and then we're gonna pin you up, and then I'm gonna go to your channel. I'm gonna check out your content as well. I like planes. And yes, I've said it before, guys, but I'll say it again. Try to leave a comment that's relevant to whatever the video is for each other's videos, please. Try to avoid the emoji comments. Try to give like an actual comment that's relevant. Oh, Gero, hey, how you doing? Gero is from Lily's live, but let's now go to Jokio Village Vlog. So we're going to Jokio now. We've given Vera her opportunity. So now we're going to go to Jokio. Go to Jokio's channel. Okay, all right, Jokio, look. I'm in your channel right now. If you ever did a voice actor job, would you prefer animated 3D film, video game, realistic animation features, cartoon? If I ever did a voice acting job, I think I would prefer. I would prefer. All right, let me read the options again and let me really mull this so far. If you ever did a voice actor job, would you prefer animated 3D film, video game, realistic animal adventure type, or cartoon TV episodes? I think I would prefer cartoon TV episodes. Cartoon TV episodes for me. I think tomato sandwich. Given my voice, since you mentioned voice acting, what role do you think I would be best suited for in terms of characters that my voice could kind of work well with? In like any voice acting for like games, TV shows, a movie. What do you think I would do really well at? Jockey, we're still also in your live. We're still in your channel as well. Okay, so right now, I assume this is your pet, Jokio. You got a pet cat, is that correct? Or is that just a random street cat? Ah, you would make an okay. So I would be a really good as like an AI voice, such as Iron Man's personal assistant. Jarvis, isn't that Jarvis is Iron Man's the computer for I'm pretty sure it's Jarvis. Pretty sure it's Jarvis. Because I used to watch Avengers. Avengers Assembles Earth's Mightiest Heroes, like the animation, the cartoon of that. Great series. I don't know why they removed it. No, they removed it for Avengers Assemble, but I used to watch that, the previous one. That one was really good. They only had 2 seasons of it, but it was really good. I liked that. Jarvis, yes. Jarvis was the name. But Jarvis sounds like an English butler. Is that why? People do say I do sound a bit like formal with my voice. Okay, so Jokio, I've done your first shorts video. We're going to the second one. So, do you live on a village, a farm, Jokio? Yeah, formal speech. Yeah, I do sound somewhat formal. Some people said I could play a pretty good villain. Um, a pretty good villain. I think. Like it could maybe I could pull it off. Maybe I could pull it off. I don't know, but I reckon I could play a pretty good villain. Yeah, I could sell that to the audience well. Chaff, hey, how you doing, Chaff? Chaff is a member of mine, guys. So we're still in Jokio's live, Jack Jokio's channel. We're still watching his video and still commenting, still liking, still supporting him. But we're gonna go to Chaff next, and Chaff is a member of mine. So I'm gonna give Chaff a little bit more priority than the others. Everybody's gonna have to go to Chaff's channel, like, support, comment, etc. I'm good, Chaff. I've just been very busy with my emails. I'm nearly at 1,000 emails, like in terms of my contact list, which is amazing. Once you get that first email, once you get your first 1,000 emails, the rest, it's not easy, but it feels amazing because it's like the first milestone. And then obviously, in terms of sales, I go by 1% conversion rate. So every 1,000 people I get, that's 10 monthly sales. It's a good 1% rate to go for. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good. But I want to keep up the momentum for this year. I want to make sure that everything's in place so that I'm making as much progress with myself and my goals and my brand as much as possible. Have you ever given yoga exercises a try? How far did you get? Yoga, yoga. I haven't given yoga, pure yoga in and of itself a try. Obviously with the gymnastics and taekwondo stuff that I do, I'm pretty good at yoga positions. I have tried some yoga stances here and there, but yoga as a discipline in and of itself, I haven't really like done it by itself, if that makes sense. I would give it a go. I would give it a go, but I in and of myself I haven't done that. What is YTDN video meaning? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not sure what the abbreviations for that mean. I'll look into that. TND video. I mean, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Nice. Okay, so Jokio, we're nearly done in Jokio, and then we're going to go to Chaff. So Jokio's last video here is a 3-minute video. Okay, so now let's pin Chaff up. Is that what it means? I don't know. I literally did not know what it stands for. I don't know. I normally don't abbreviate. I just say whatever it is that I mean so that people have absolute clarity in what I'm trying to convey to them. But okay. So Vera was in Jokio's video. I've seen so many people saying it's Apex, not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it means myself. I don't abbreviate in these live shows. I'm just very clear and direct. I've like when you're trying to get someone's attention, I just do at whatever their handle is. Hello, I've done such and such and such and such. I've watched your video, I liked and comment. Please return the favor. I just keep it like that. Keep it simple. It might be a little bit longer, but the communication is clear. Unless they can't read English, they have no reason to not understand what I'm trying to tell them. So that works best for me. Also, let me say something, guys. In these connecting live shows, you never want to go into them with the mindset of how much you can get from people. You want to go in if you really want to receive. You have to be willing to give in these live shows. And I'm not talking about money. I'm saying give to the people in the live show by going on their channel, watching their videos, liking and commenting, and then coming back in the live show and then telling people, hey, I watched your video. Hey, I did this, I did that. Can you please return a favor? That's how you're going to get the most out of these live shows. A lot of people, they go to these live shows and they just post their video, or they don't say anything other than just follow me or just subscribe. And you're like, but this is a networking thing where you have to, in order to receive, you have to give. So you have to be willing to give to people in order to get back from them. And then obviously, yes, not everyone that you give to will return back, but you create a higher incentive of people giving to you when you do give, if that makes sense. So make your life easier for yourself. Okay, so I'm giving the last comment on Jokio's video, and then we're gonna go to Chaff's video, and then we're gonna watch videos from Chaff's, like and comment. Yeah, like it's like how people ask me all the time, how did I grow so much on Instagram? I followed the same, obviously, yes, post content, promote, network, share your videos out as much as possible, but being social on social media and like doing favors for other people goes a long way. Like you can really, if you have a good core audience that will support you, then you'll grow much quicker. And one way to get, good connections with people is be willing to watch their videos, like and comment, and then they'll be more willing to invest in you. Okay, so are you good at drawing, painting, football, tennis, cycling, baseball, auto mechanics, cooking, barbecue grill, short story writing, matching clothes? Okay, so out of the options, painting, not that good at, drawing, not that good at, football, yeah, pretty much good at it. Tennis, I used to play tennis a lot. I can adapt to that. I can ride a bike, but I'm not a cyclist. Like I don't make a habit of it. Auto mechanics, not so much. Cooking, barbecue grill, I can adapt to many of these skills. I'm pretty good at picking up new skills, so um, I can learn quite a few of them. So I'm pretty good with some of those things that you mentioned. But for me, I pretty much just train a lot with my disciplines and like the areas that I train in. So I kind of stick to that when it comes to hobbies for the most part. But I have been known to adapt to new skills. So all right, we're in Chaff's channel here, and now we're gonna watch videos from Chaff. So let's start with the short videos, the shorts videos, and then work our way up to the long videos. Bye, Jokio. Take care. And Chaff is into plants, as you can see. Very good at planting. And the aesthetics of her work is very impressive as well. So she makes things look very, very neat, very, very good. Look at that plant store, guys. It looks absolutely phenomenal here. Looks very, very nice. I'm gonna leave a very nice comment. Beautiful selection of plants. Chaff, how long have you been at planting for? So that's Chaff's video, the first shorts video. Let me go to the second one. Brazilian wood plant, buying online. Okay. So this is Brazilian wood plant. And Chaff's work is very impressive. What I normally do though, Chaff, is I don't sell to people right now. Obviously, it depends on your priority and what you're trying to get done, but I'm in a space of just building up as much value as possible for an extended period of time, and then from there, dropping like sales and stuff. You want me to go click like dozens of your videos and help you grow my channel too, mate? This is my good channel. My real channel is teaching young people how to work independently. Um, yeah, if you want to, if you have the time, Tomato, I'm not going to force you to do that. If you want to click a bunch of my videos and watch, like, and comment and stuff, then I'd greatly appreciate it. Tomato, are you on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, then we should connect to each other there as well. Let me just go in and sorry, my other phone can take a little bit long with dropping comments. It can be very temperamental. It's somewhat annoying, but I'm trying to leave a comment on Chaff's second video with the Brazilian wood plant. So we'll all go to Chaff's channel and we'll give Chaff that support. But this phone is just, sometimes I want to smash it. I'm going to get a new one. I'm going to get a new one because this is my business phone. So all of my clients, in person, online customers, stuff like that, I just put it on this phone over here, and I'm using my personal phone right now to stream this live video. So not on Insta, had ex-girlfriend drama and deleted all my Facebook, Snapchat. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Was that fairly recent, or like did it happen a while ago? And I mean, we've all had drama with that sort of thing, haven't we? We've all got our stories. You're not the only one, trust me. You're not the only one with November 2020. Okay, so that wasn't that long ago. That wasn't that long ago at all. But what I will say, Tomato, is regardless of who ended things, as long as you stick to your own self-improvement and your self-development, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you'll be able to push past this breakup. I don't know what happened, but you can always push past it and you can always do better in the future. Like, you never want to hang your hat 100% on any relationship, in my opinion. You want to make sure that you leave enough for yourself so that if anything happens, and not even just so that if anything happens, but it's just priorities. Like, you need to prioritize yourself. You need to prioritize like your bigger ambitions in life, what you want in life, and genuinely go after that. And if a relationship comes from that, fine. And if not, fine. Like, I think people need to be okay with the idea of being by themselves for an extended period of time. I don't think it's good to jump into relationships simply because I'm not saying you did this, but I'm just speaking generally. I don't think it's good for people to jump into relationships simply because they don't want to be alone. Like, that's kind of pathetic, in my opinion. She was from 2 years ago, found my profiles, caused mayhem, so now I fixed it. Yeah, just do what you can to distance yourself from that situation, man. Like, you don't need to strain yourself with stuff like that. Nice Brazilian wood chaff. Okay, so I've dropped another comment on Chaff's video. Sorry it took so long. Again, my business phone can be very temperamental sometimes. It's very irritating. I'm gonna get a new one. So this is the last shorts video of Chaff, and then we're gonna watch a long video. And also, if you make it a point to just constantly improve yourself in every way, then that version of you that was part of that failed relationship, you'll look back at that person that you used to be and just be like, why did I ever do this? Like, why did I ever waste my time? Okay, maybe it wasn't a waste of time. It depends entirely on the circumstance of what happened. Obviously, I don't know what happened, but yeah, you just need to focus a little bit more on that, which you are doing. You're making good steps towards that, and then eventually things will be okay. I'm not saying things will be perfect, but you'll get to a point where you can live with whatever happened. So hey, Lily's still here. Awesome, thank you. And I believe Chaff has bye Jaylen, take care. I believe Chaff has an online store. Is that correct, Chaff? Or you're in the process of creating an online store to sell your plants. Is that correct? I know that you have an in-person market store, but Chaff, if you're still here, let us know what your plans are for the online side of things. Because I know that we follow each other on Instagram, so I know you're keen on your social media growth because you've got YouTube and Instagram. But in terms of like an online store, are you looking to set anything up like that? What's the plan with that? And sorry, guys, I'm just adjusting the camera and everything else. Godspeed. So far, so good. All right, that's good. It's good to hear. That's good to hear. You'll get back on your feet. You seem like you already are on your feet. But again, my philosophy is just never. And even then, with things like marriage, like I used to be. I just turned 30 not long ago, right? Literally, I turned 30 in February. The 12th of February was my birthday, and it's funny how my mindset has changed on marriage from when I was 20 years old to 30. Obviously, 10 years is a long time to experience new things and be exposed to new information. And when I was 20 to like 20, when I was like 20 to 25, I was a big like, I wouldn't say fan of marriage, but I was like, okay, I should get married. It's the right thing to do. That whole sort of thing. But then as I start to get more exposed to like the modern world and the dynamics of like, I wouldn't even just say marriage. I would just say like long-term relationships and things like that. My desire for it started to die down even more. So much so to a point now where I honestly have no desire to get married. Um, I have my reasons for it, but I've got reasons and experiences which justify that. And I suppose everybody has their justifications for whatever they believe. But for me personally, I couldn't do it, especially under the system that I live in the UK. If I was ever, I don't see myself getting married, but if I was to ever get married, I could never do it in London or the UK for that matter. I couldn't risk it. It just seems ridiculous for me to risk that. Great work, Chath. So Chath, I'm watching your last video, and then I'm gonna watch your long video, and then we're gonna move on to we'll pin Lily again and go from there. I'm making a A10 Warthog replica out of hardwood and aluminium cans. I harvest flat aluminium square sheet out of each and okay, that's really good. So it sounds like you're a handyman, like you do a lot of work with your hands. Sounds like a very, wholesome hobby to have. Is that just something you like doing part time? Is that part of like, any job that you do or anything like that? This is Chas video. It's an awesome side. Oh, okay, so it's a side hobby. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Like, when I was a kid, I obviously this is not the same thing, but principally, I suppose you could say it's the same thing. I used to love building like Lego toys. Now, when I say Lego, I'm not talking about like, the big giant blocks of Legos. I'm not talking about those. I mean, those Legos where you could build like actual like toy cars and stuff like that, and you can actually hook up like electric circuits out. This is old school stuff. I don't know if they probably still have it, but there would be like thousands and thousands upon little small Lego cubes that you could build actual toys out of it, like cars, helicopters, things like that. I used to love doing that, and I would actually look at the manuscript, like the plan, and actually build it up. It would take a while for me to do it, but I love doing that. So I can imagine, yeah, this is stuff like that is a really good side hobby. I'm a handyman, but I also sell crossbows. Oh, you do crossbows. So are you also into archery and like shooting guns? Guns is actually something that I wanted to get into that, like go into firing ranges and get good at like target practice. My aim isn't too bad. Like my eyesight isn't the best. I won't lie. Like I don't have 20/20 vision by I don't have 20/20 vision, not by any stretch of the imagination. But you're into archery. Okay, cool. Nice. I wanted to get into archery. I'd probably do it in the future, but I thought I would start with guns first. But yeah, no, my eyesight is not good. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect. Not by any stretch of the imagination do I have amazing vision. But even for my vision, like my aim is pretty good when it comes to using a gun. Archery, never tried it. Never held a bow, a proper bow, an arrow. I've never tried it, but I reckon I could. I imagine I could probably pick that up pretty soon. Who knows? But we're in Chas video, guys. So just bring it back to here. So I've done 3 of Chaf's latest shorts videos, and now we're in her long video. And we're going to go from there. We're going to watch and we're going to support. Episodes of The Mighty Bush seem to take my short attention span off my play. The Mighty Bush. Isn't that a UK comedy show? I remember I remember a show like that with Noel. I don't. Is it Noel Fielding? Isn't that the guy's name? Yes, yes, I remember that. I used to watch that show long time ago. Long time ago. I didn't watch it religiously, but I watched maybe a couple episodes here and there. And he's kind of like he's not really he's not like a goth. Is he a goth? But he has like that sort of like emo aesthetic. Am I thinking of the right person? He's got like long hair and he normally has like a very emo style aesthetic. I think I'm pretty sure that's the same guy that you're mentioning. The show that you're mentioning. Yeah, it's that guy. I thought so. Yeah, almost like Russell Brand. Almost like Russell Brand. Yeah, they are similar. They are very similar. But yeah, as I was saying though before, like with the whole relationship thing, marriage thing, I don't think I could. Tomato, let me ask you: have you ever been married before, or if you're like in my age group, are you at the point where you have to make a decision on whether you're going to do it or not? Because for me, I just don't see with my generation at least. I don't know how old you are. I'm divorced. Okay, okay, exactly. Now I don't want to big up painful memories, but if you were to advise me, you know, lasted 7 years. Okay, all right, 7 years, 7 years, a long time. But just to ask though, obviously with most of these relationships, when when someone says it lasted 7 years, obviously there was a period where it was really really good, and then things started to go downhill before the official cutoff point. For me personally, I'm very picky with my time, very picky with my time, to where a marriage where, especially under UK law, where the gun of the UK government is pointed towards my head as a man, if I default on that, I wouldn't want to take that risk. I personally wouldn't want to take that risk. I think I would like to leave the government out of my relationships and endeavors as much as possible. But I just think the idea of 7 years, 10 years, 5 years, however long it is, and it not ending in the result, the desired result, I wouldn't want to give my time for something like that. But last 5 years was downhill. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's one of those things where there's the official cutoff point, and even then, sometimes it doesn't really end because there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens after that. But you know what I mean, like the official divorce or breakup that happens. But even before that point, there was a downhill slope anyway. So in my opinion, the relationship probably only lasted like however it didn't last as long as people say it lasts. Like if someone told me, if someone told me they were married for 4 years and now they're divorced or separated, in my mind, I'm like, you were really probably only married for maybe a year, maybe 18 months. In other words, you were probably only happily married for a year and 18 months. And then the time after that, that's when things started to kind of go downhill. I don't want to give my time for something like that. I prefer to I don't want to say indulge. I prefer to invest my time in activities and things that produce a high return on investment. And in my opinion, marriage right now, and even like serious relationship, I could be wrong, but marriage right now and serious relationships don't provide that. For most people, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from in the world, how much money you have, and all this other stuff. Time kind of makes things boring for some people, and there will be people that you kind of encounter that follow that. So it was 95% all jolly good, cherry good memories, no regrets. I wish her the best wherever she is. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm not saying that again. I think when people hear me say this, I'm not saying that the other person is a bad person. I'm just saying, like, the investment of time in that endeavor, if it doesn't result in the desired outcome in the end, then to me, I would prefer not to even do it to begin with. I'd prefer to do something, maybe an alternative to that. Maybe something that's not traditional in the textbook sense, but maybe we all get what we want out of it. And if after that point things don't work out well, like I tend to see it more in the line of business, not the dynamics of it in terms of like the interactions, like it's at 10 o'clock we're going to do this, not necessarily like that, but I mean like the framework of it. I would like to approach it more in a business sense, where it's like, okay, we're not looking at it through rose tints, like we're not looking at it through the eyes of we're not looking at it through the eyes of ideals. I prefer to look at it 100% as it is, not ignoring any facts or statistics or anything like that. The whole entire spectrum of human marriage relationship norms and standards are constantly evolving and modernizing, but the mainstream traditional styles, however, doomed to fail by design. Yeah, exactly. Like it's always in flux, it's always shifting, and obviously money has a big part to play in that. Um, Money has a big part to play in that. No matter what we believe about money. Money's always going to be in there. Time investment is always going to be in there, etc. And for me, as someone who's very keen on like building his brand and business, which is doing pretty well already, but taking it further and further and further. Right now, time is not something that I wanna waste. I want to invest my time on things right now that are more logical, more based in reason, more based in things that I can quantify and say, okay, if I do X, I get Y. And I'm trying to apply that to what I'm working towards and everything else. So right now is not the time for me to be taking a risk with marriage with someone. I mean, if someone wants to get married, I'm not gonna scare them with what I believe to be facts. But I just think right now, and you even mentioned it right now, the mainstream traditional style is rather doomed to fail by design. It's doomed to fail. So we've got to think of we got to take that into account. But my problem is some people don't even want to acknowledge that. Some people want to go in with their eyes shut completely to that fact, to that reality, and then just say, oh well, we'll um, divorce is never going to happen to me. It's going to happen to someone else. It's never going to happen to me. And I think it's foolish to assume that that can't happen to you. You need to. People always like to think that they're special and think that these bad things could never happen to them. It can happen to anyone for any reason. You can be doing everything right. And I'm not even just talking about relationships. I just mean you can do everything right and still not get the outcome that you want. It's kind of like, a test at school. You can revise for hours and be very good with the subject, and then there can be some trick questions that come up in the actual test, and you might still pass, but you might not get the grade that you wanted to get. So there's always that factoring that people need to be aware of, that you can do everything right and still not get the desired outcome. Buy a few $100s of Bitcoin and let it sit out for a few years. Okay, all right, I'll think about it. But right now, for me, and even then, like something like marriage, right now, it just isn't on my mind at all. Right now, it's more about building up the online platforms, the merch, the online clients, the in-person clients, the brand in and of itself, traveling and making good networking connections with other people. Obviously, training in the gym, I do that all the time, and improving my skills in like taekwondo, gymnastics, and all of that, weapons training, improving myself as a person. Obviously, I read a lot as well, and just sharpening myself as a person. That's where my focus is at mostly right now. I'm not really thinking about like relationships or children or anything like that. So obviously the question will come up at some point, and whenever people ask me that question, I just give my honest answer. I'm just like, yeah, right now it's not the best time for me to think about those sort of things. I have my own agenda, and I'm just focused 100% on that. That's not to throw people off if they do want to get married. I just think just know what you're getting into as the idea of it. Just know what the idea is. If you accept the idea and you're okay with it, then go ahead with that. And if you are okay with the potential back end costs of that, and you've weighed it all out, and you've weighed it out with that person that you're thinking of doing this thing with, then okay, go ahead and do it. Because at that point, should anything go bad, I'm assuming there will be no surprises, because you say that you factored everything in, you've looked at the pros and cons, you've done your homework, you've done your research, so whatever happens at that point. But I think people should just educate themselves first on the hard questions and ask the hard questions, and then once all of that is done, then you can see whether you want to get married or not. Hi, cars. Right now, obviously, the topic right now, we're just talking about like marriage and like the pros and cons. Obviously, the main point of the live show is to connect with new people, connect with other people. But the question was asked, and I'm just giving my views on things like marriage and relationships, and that sort of thing. Now, I'm not completely against I'm not against relationships in general. Like relationships, it's part of the human experience. But I just think with the governments and the government being involved in your relationship and complicating things and making things even more difficult than they need to be, I think that's a problem that I would never want to get myself involved into. So you want to, in my opinion, you want to level the playing field out a little bit, man. Like you don't want to have the gun of the UK. Obviously, I'm from London. I'm in the UK. You don't want to have the gun of the UK government pointing at your head if anything goes wrong. I mean, if anything does go wrong, I think you should sort it out between you and your spouse if it is indeed possible to sort that out. But having the government stick their head in just makes things a little bit more difficult. Marriage is all about understanding. Are you married, Cars? I'm not married, and me personally, I don't think it's something that I would want to get myself into. But I just think people just need to do that homework. I can confirm and report personally, having witnessed that there are female versions of your anti-marriage vision, and those ladies are into being with fuck buddies, but are very picky and blunt about boundaries. Yeah, friends with benefits, and but I'm not even really a friends with benefits kind of guy either. Like, I'm pretty much just focused on my own self development. To be honest with you, like that's mainly what I focus on. I'm not really focused on trying to get friends with benefits and things like that. I just think again, if you've weighed up the pros and the cons, and you're okay with the potential cost of marriage, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. No, but I always ask married people about their experience. Okay, so cars in your how okay, let me ask if you're okay with answering. How old are you, and what's your personal view of marriage as it stands right now in your life? Like, is it something that you would do? Are you thinking of doing it? Obviously, I'm not here to persuade you to do it or not to do it otherwise, but just share your experience. So we keep the conversation, everyone can add something to it, and we can add to maybe add a bit of perspective where people might not have thought of something. And also, you ask married people about their experience. I do too. Like I try to ask a lot of older people about their experience. People that are way older than me. I want to know what their views are. And 22, surely okay. He's thinking of doing it. All right, fair enough. I just turned 30, Carl, so I've got like 8 years on you. Um, you know, I think it's okay. Like I'm not going to persuade. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a horrible thing, and you should never do it. I just think for me personally, I like to be more cautious with serious investments that involve a huge amount of my time, a huge amount of my money and emotional support and things like that. Anything that involves that, I'm not even just talking about like marriage, anything that involves that, I'm gonna do my due diligence and do a lot of research before signing into that. It's more like sharing your life with someone, understanding you. Okay, yeah, I would say the idea of it is definitely that. It's definitely that. After my experience, I may say, in my opinion, that marriage is an unnecessary financial setback and a scarring emotional distraction from the main point, couples romance. Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say this pretty much the same thing. Now, for me, as someone who's never been married, obviously I've had relationships before and all sorts of stuff, but I've never been married before. And just based on my experience with relationships and how quickly things can turn on a dime, I don't know if something that's a huge investment, such as marriage, which has, like you even mentioned, like huge financial setbacks and emotional scarring. I don't know if I want to risk that for something that can be very volatile. For me, I want to make sure that whatever I'm investing is going to produce a good enough return on investment. And it's the same thing with business, even with the gym. Like when I go to the gym, for me, I don't just go to the gym. I'm gonna take it back to marriage, but I don't just go to the gym. I go to the gym. I go to gymnastics classes. I go to weapons training classes. I go to taekwondo classes. I go to all these classes, and obviously, I'm paying money. I'm paying money towards these things. It's not free. Whenever I'm paying these people or these studios, I want to get a good return on that investment. So whatever the class is, whatever the training is, I want to make sure that the money that I'm investing and the time I'm investing is actually producing good results in my physical prowess and skills and training. Same thing with marriage. Same thing with anything else. Same thing with business. So Chaff says marriage is good. Okay, fair enough. In Chaff's experience, marriage is good. Obviously, people of different backgrounds and different cultures and different genders will experience different things because the dynamic is not the same for literally every single person. I don't. Marriage means different things for different people. Relationships means different things to different people, and based on the experience of different people will say different things. Like for example, Tomato. Tomato's a man who's older than me. I'm older than cars, so I'm in between cars and in between tomatoes. Now, Tomato said he was divorced, but Tomato has a wealth of experience, and as a man, I would lean more towards hearing what Tomato has to say. That doesn't mean I discount the female perspective, of course not, but I would lean more towards what Tomato would have to say because number one, Tomato is he's from what I gather in a conversation. Tomatoes, you're in the UK like me, so we're under the same government. You're a male like me, you're a man like me. So a lot of the hurdles that the government would put in your path, they would put in my path too. Whereas with someone like Chaff, for instance, Chaff is from a different country, different background, and Chaff, you're in India, right? So I would imagine, like, the laws are, because we're not just talking about marriage, we're talking about the government as well. Different governments have different regulations and legislations for people. So Chaff's experience with marriage, coming from a different cultural background, I would imagine would be very different from Tomatoes. One being a man, one being a woman, one being in the UK, one being in India. Yeah, see, exactly. Arranged marriage. Arranged marriage is more of a that doesn't happen in the UK, not as much, unless people are coming from countries like India, that where arranged marriage is a thing. Then arranged marriage doesn't happen in the UK. Like, yeah, exactly. Like arranged marriage is a whole that's a whole different universe. But obviously, in Chaff's experience, arranged marriage works very well. So Chaff would be coming. Europe should just call themselves United States of Europe. Well, that's a that's a different conversation in of itself. But Chaff would have a different experience behind it, and I validate that, and I'm like, okay, cool. So everyone can bring something to the conversation. Me, as a guy from the UK, I was born in London, raised in London. Obviously, I've traveled out here and there. I've been to different countries. I've been to India as one of those countries, and I've got a whole list of things that I want to do with my life that I'm currently working on. I just personally see marriage right now as something that would not really benefit me. I don't think commitment in and of itself is the bad thing. I'm just concerned with the government and the incentives of, say, divorce in the UK, what that provides other parties. That is a huge thing for me. For me, that's a massive thing. That's almost like a game changer completely, because if the other party has a huge incentive of divorce and the government's willing to pay them off at my expense, then they're essentially holding a gun to my head. And if I don't, you know, dance to the beat of their drum, then I could be in very serious problems. Just like Tomato mentioned when he said that, there's huge financial setback for typically for men. Marriage isn't just a tradition. Its main purpose is keeping a sight. Of course, yeah, of course. And it's obviously, in my opinion, right now, that you know, the best dynamic to bring children into the world is probably in a marriage, or at least a committed environment. Maybe not a textbook marriage where you are legally married to the person, but the bottom line, a committed, stable household is where children would most likely thrive. And obviously, you need children to be the next generation of society, to keep the wheel of society spinning. That makes perfect sense. However, I believe with the current modernization of relationships and everything else, that stability is undermined by a whole bunch of things. And I think it's that part of relationships and marriage that a lot of people want to keep their eyes closed to. They don't want to acknowledge that, because if they start acknowledging that, then they might change their mind on something that is, a hallmark of their rearing, of their, like, of being raised. Like, when you're a kid, you're told all the time, especially if you grow up in a religious household, you're told all the time that, sex before marriage is a sin. Marriage is, uh, uh, you know, part of God's design, and it's something that you should aspire to do. There are tons of different lessons that we're always taught from childhood about marriage and relationships. And I think when you start to understand the environment that you're in, and you start to look at what you have your ideals, and then you look at the reality of what it means for you being the person you are. What's the pros and cons for you to get involved? Now, it's going to be different for different people, because it's not a one size fits all thing. Different people are going to get different experiences. So let me read this out. True, but amongst its flexibility, there will always be your individuals who embrace other fields of success other than becoming old pops in front of porch rocking kids. True, yeah, and that's another dynamic as well, Tomato. And for me, I'm in the stage of my life where I'm really contemplating whether I should do it or not. There was a time where it was no question. Like, Cars is 22. When I was 22, and I say that I'm not an old guy, but when I was 22, 7 to 8 years ago, because obviously I just turned 20, I just turned 30 years old. I was dead set on getting married when I was 22. But now I don't think I'm leaning more towards not doing it. And yes, there are different ideas of success as well that I think people need to come into account. When you don't want to settle down or commit to one person, you fear marriage. But if you genuinely love a person, there should be no second thought of marriage. It Marriage, as I see it now, is 2025. It's just a traditional jewelry such as a leather watch. I I have to agree. I'm leaning more towards Tomato's side on it because, again, and here's the reasons for saying that. Tomato is from the UK. He's under the same government laws that I'm under. I imagine that Tomato, you like me, you were born here and raised here. You know what goes on here when it comes to the dynamic of relationships. You know that. So I would relate more to Tomato. That does I don't discount Cars and I don't discount Chaff either. Great perspectives. But I think with even the topic of love, the idea of love in the UK is probably not the idea of love in India. I think with India, and Chaff, you can probably attest to this. India, you probably have. Obviously, I've only visited India. I've never grown up there. I don't know firsthand what it's like. But love is probably not as flexible as it is in the UK. Now, the definition of love in the UK is mostly a fleeting feeling, something that doesn't last very long. It's more of a passion thing. When people say love in the UK, I imagine it means something different than people in India. But people in India, I'm assuming that there's more of a duty in love in India, or at least your society will probably uphold the duty side of it for. I mean, you must do when it comes to in India, we love one person for whole life. Um, okay, but like again, is it a thing where it's a genuine love that's coming from I don't want to say your heart, but you know what I mean, or is it because of the societal structure that you're in upholds certain ideas to where moving out of that marriage with that one person would have a negative stigma on you for the rest of your life, and that's what I'm talking about with society and government. Like in the UK, all those foundational pillars that made a monogamous relationship with one person are all gone. That doesn't exist anymore. Love is known as a passionate thing. Divorce is highly incentivized. Their cheating is more it's more brazen over here in the UK. Like it's a different world entirely. So marriage over here not the same as, and we don't do arranged marriage as a general norm. Most people in the UK who do arranged marriages are again people from cultures that do arranged marriages that just come to the UK and stick to that system. Absolutely fine, absolutely fine. If I personally think maybe hold on, it's a psychological and physical need. But cars, here's the thing: most people would argue, and I'm saying people in the UK, most people would argue that you could have that need met without signing the document, without walking the aisle, without getting married legally. Most people would argue that again. I don't argue the psychological and physical need for intimacy and all that. Fine, that's cool. But I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What would you say to someone that says, "Well, I can get all of that outside of the bonds of a marriage. I can get all of that without putting the government in, without getting the government involved, and without having the gun of the government pointing towards my head with the threat of divorce and the financial setbacks it can cause, the emotional damaging of the family, especially if you've got children as well, um, could tear your whole family apart, and families set on each other with that. So, what would you say to someone who has a logical reason? Again, I'm not looking at it so much from the lens of morals and ideals. I'm looking at it more from just what is it? What's the likelihood of these things happening, and how can I avoid a bad situation? Um, It's just like shoes. Some places don't allow you if you're barefoot. I choose and prefer to wear shoes. I choose not to marry again. No offense to anyone else. Yeah, tomato. I understand completely. I understand completely. It's like it's a location thing as well. It's a location thing as well. Like it's a like I mentioned several times, marriage is not going to be the same thing for everyone. Chath, on the other hand, is coming from the other side and saying it's so pure to have same feelings for the same person your whole. Again, it's not that we don't have cases of divorce of cheating here, but I will take on my experience. Of course, like cheating, it happens everywhere. Like there's no spot that anyone can go to in this world where it's almost like a perfect safe haven from all of these issues. These issues are prevalent everywhere. However, I would say, and I would argue in favor of Tomato's perspective, that as a man growing up in the UK, getting divorced under this government will have severe ramifications for you as a man. Men are not necessarily, essentially, people don't care about what happens to a man. I think that happens everywhere, but when it comes to men in like divorce cases, people don't care what happens to the negative side effects of a man. People don't care about men when it comes to a man suffering. And I'm not saying that men are better or anything like that. I'm just saying that's just how it is in the UK. Not sure about India, but in the UK, that's how it is. So I can completely understand a man growing up in the UK or growing up in a system that's similar to the UK, where the government puts a gun to your head if it fails, saying, I personally don't want to take that risk. I'll find my way around marriage. I'll get the physical intimacy. I'll get the psychological need. Hell, I might even have kids with a woman. I might settle down, but I'll do it in such a way where the government is not gonna destroy me should it go left. I can understand the perspective of a man that would say that. Of course, Apex, we can all get what marriage offers from other typical types of relationships, but it isn't stable as marriage. At the end, human beings can't live long on unstable grounds. True. There should be some stability. There should be some stability. Let's just say, thank heavens, I had my situation in my mum's name, title properly. Exactly. See, now we're talking about real stuff, assets. He's talking about his car. He had his car. Like, okay, this is where I'm saying we need to start looking at the. It's good to have our ideals. It's good to have our faith and morals and whatever you cling on to. That's all fantastic. But when it comes down to when the rubber meets the road, when we're back down to earth, and when we deal with the legal ramifications of things, I think people would much enjoy a system where they can partake in relationships and having families and all that other stuff without having to worry about. Look, Tomato even said it. Let's just thank heavens I had my Citroen in my mum's name, title property. Exactly. Like if it was all about love and all of that, then he wouldn't have to have his assets and property in his mother's name. Why did he do that? Because obviously, in the event of a divorce, if it's not in his name, then the other party is not going to be entitled to it. And it's stuff like that that incentivizes things like that. So let's say if you're with a rich individual, let's say a rich individual gets with a someone who isn't rich, and obviously the economic gap between the two is vast. Now there's going to be a huge incentive to divorce that person because legally, under the bonds of marriage, you would be entitled to that person's. It's not a fair game, but that's what it is under the UK government, and I can understand why someone would say I don't really want to be part of that. And for me, as someone who's done quite a bit, obviously I've gone to uni and graduated, and I did economics at uni and work in finance and all that other stuff, and now I'm understanding more of what I want in life in terms of like business and life and stuff like that. I don't really want to work for people. I want to work for myself. And the best way to work for yourself in this day and age is obviously part of content creation, creating your own business and getting that very popular and getting out there, which is it's working. But I would be damned if at the tail end of all that, again, let's say 15 years from now, when I'm 45 years old, 45 isn't old. When you're 45, you still have a lot, you've got like 4 to 5 decades left. So you've lived half of your life essentially. I would be damned if I've spent decades building up, like, my assets, building up myself as a person, building up, your YouTube channel, like your influence, your skills, your knowledge, like, and providing so much value to then just have that taken away by someone who was not there during the crucial building phases over, something that's probably a petty reason for breakup anyway. For me, I would be, oh, I can understand when a man, or not even just men, when men and women who experience that go through that, and it's a kick in the teeth. It's a giant kick in the teeth to experience that sort of thing. So I'm looking at it from a more practical standpoint. I look at it from a more practical standpoint, and not through the lens of emotions, hope, faith necessarily. I'm not looking down at faith. If you have your beliefs, that's absolutely fine. But I'm looking at it from what happens when I physically go down that aisle, when I sign that contract, when I, have children. What physically happens? A guy from my background in the UK, what physically happens when I make that decision? Not what happens in my ideal when I make that decision. I want to know all the pros and cons. I want to weigh it all out. I want to know all the unflattering truths of that institution. I want to know all the details, and then I'll make an informed decision, and then I'll work my way around it. I think that's the best way to go with it. Okay, let me read more comments. Matrimony is the sacrament of the church through which a Christian man and woman are united as husband and wife. Obviously, there's been lewd conduct between men and women. Yeah, okay, look, I'm not against Christianity, not against it at all. And I know the Bible does teach marriage is something that you should do before sex and everything else. Completely get that. Completely get that. Not going to argue against the good book. I've read the Bible. I've read several religious texts. And obviously, I grew up in the Christian household, so I respect that. But what all I'm saying is, people need to make a choice between what their ideals are and what will most likely happen when you get married. Let me read more comments. Sorry. In the UK, when divorced, they can get 50% of your wealth. Pretty much. I have wait, hold on. I had a mid-size alloy 3D printer station. She reported it at court. I had to either sell it and give her half of the money mandated by the court, or buy half from her by paying half of my bro. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. Whoever divorces his wife and married another woman can again, KYD, KYD. I love that you're bringing the Bible into it. Love it. And I don't discount, obviously, scripture. If you're going from a biblical perspective, there is grounds for divorce under the Bible. Like, again, adultery. You just mentioned it right now. If adultery is present in a marriage according to the Bible, then yeah, you can get divorced. And I'm not trying to dissuade people from following the biblical path. If you want to follow the biblical path when it comes to marriage, then that's absolutely fine. But what I am saying is, people that tend to quote scripture and refer back to religious texts, they tend to also ignore a lot of the unflattering realities that getting married in this day and age will cause. And I think that that's the wrong way to go about, which is why I said earlier, everyone's going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to do your research. You have your ideals, have your faith, have your morals. All great, fantastic. But when the rubber meets the road, what's going to actually happen to you, especially if you're a man? What's going to happen to you if you choose to go down this path without knowing all the facts, and then get all of this reality thrown in your face on the back end of it? Because when it's on the back end of it, the government isn't gonna. You can't go into a. I've never been divorced, but I would imagine you can't go into a divorce court and quote the Bible and say, okay, the Bible says in the New Testament or Old Testament, these are the only legit reasons for divorce. Her reasons or his reasons don't line up with that. Therefore, we shouldn't get divorced. Can't really do that in this day and age because the government, the UK government, doesn't care about the Bible like that. We're not a theocracy. We live under a democratic system. We don't live in a theocratic system where a religion is the state and controls every aspect of the government. That doesn't happen here. Let me read more comments. I like the conversation, guys. I like the conversation. Whoever divorces, okay, so scripture. I bought my half and kept the 3D printer and later sold it. It was used and I got plenty out of it. Okay, cool. The world is full of lustful humans and pornography is further pushing people into hell by allowing people to commit fornication. Okay, fair enough. One wrong marriage can make your life hell. That's also true. Yeah, true. Yeah, and again, you know, do you really want to take that risk? Do you really want to take that risk? Like, I would imagine, just purely pragmatic, I would just avoid that whole thing entirely. I don't want the stress of all of who's the right person, who's the wrong person. In my opinion, anyone can be the right person at any time. Someone who was the right person 5 years ago might not be the right person now. People can change and you can't control that. But what you can control is what you're willing to allow up front. And I think it's smart to, just figure that out. Let me see here. Here is my scriptures. If I die of starvation, I won't even be alive enough to endure the childish shame of being a divorcee. Tomato's giving us real experience, guys. Let's read what Lily says. It's good to have a label as long as we are happy in our marriage life. Yeah, again, I'm not against happy marriages. I'm not against it at all. I'm just coming at it from a perspective of a guy, and I'm not even against it. I'm just looking at it when I'm like, all right, what's the unflattering realities for anything? I take this approach with everything, guys. With everything. Let me know the facts. Let me know all the unpleasant truths. Let me know what might happen. Let me know what's definitely going to happen. Let me know what could happen in 2 years. I want to know everything, as much details as I can, and then I'll see if I can make the decision. Why not take a risk, Apex, when you can get with a right person? I'm going to come back to that, Chaff. That's a very good question. Apex, when you find the one, knowing she's the best you could have for you all the time, will you have the chance or just skip it? I don't think there is a one. Again, I used to think that years ago. I don't think there is a one. I think, and this is my honest opinion, I think that people can be the right person in that instance. And you guys have experience with this. Let's say you're with someone. And let's say you've only been with them for 3 years. Let's say it lasted 3 years. I would imagine most people would say at first it was amazing. The communication was amazing and blah, 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 whatever you want to say was amazing, right? That's what most people will say. And in that period, however long that, people call it the honeymoon phase, whatever they want to call it, however long that period lasted for, most people would swear up and down that that person was the right person. And I think that definition of the right person is flawed. I don't think there is one person that you can stay with for the rest of your life that completes you in every single way. The definition that's given, I don't think someone can be all things to all people. I don't think a human can be all things to all people to that one person all the time. I don't believe that. I think things are constantly in flux. I think polygamy and polyandry are abominations. Okay, there's an argument for that. But hold on, let me read more comments before I go on with I think, because I don't think there is a one. I think people can change. I think people can be good for you in that instance. And people change. Hold on, let me read this. Your life energy, nay, your mortality and time of existence are just like one pitcher of water we're given in life, and we must pour it wisely and frugally. Yes, you must invest your energies very carefully. Because you don't want it to be a thing where it backfires, especially with something as serious as like marriage and having kids. Like you don't want that to be wrong. But as I was saying before, I think people are too invested in this idea of the one. I don't believe in that. And because I don't believe in this idea of the one, I don't hold to this idea that there's going to be one person that I meet at some point in my life who can be all things to me for the rest of my life. Like, I don't think that. And I think that mindset is what holds some people back. It's what gives people false expectations, because people have this idea that I think my mindset is probably better for long-term relationships, because I go into it expecting that maybe this person might one day piss me off, or one day might do this. I go into it knowing that there's a chance that this person isn't going to be all things for me at all times. And that helps me stick it out even longer because I don't think that they're going to be perfect 100% of the time. And you make allowance for that. I think if you have this idea of the one, which I don't know where that came from, but I think if you have this idea of the one and you push onto that, you push onto that throughout the rest of your life, then every person that you get with, at some point they're going to disappoint you, and you'll think, oh well, they can't be the one because the person who's the one in my mind, how I've understood that term, would never do this to me. They would always say yes to me. They would always do this. They would always do that. And then you break up with that person, and then you're on to the next one, and you still hold to that definition. And then I don't think that that works. I will marry again after I buy a DeLorean with a flux capacitor in again. So obviously, if you guys don't know, DeLorean is a time machine from Back to the Future. I think most of us would know that reference. The DeLorean's more of an American thing. I'm, TARDIS, Doctor Who. So ultimately, obviously, Tomato's just having a bit of fun with it, but I understand what he's trying to say. It's the investment of time. You want to make sure that you're being frugal with your time and investing it wisely. TARDIS, yes. I prefer the TARDIS because obviously, to me, it's a lot cooler than a DeLorean. Bigger on the inside. If you go to, where was it? Near Barron's Court in London, there's actually a TARDIS phone box. I think it's near Earl's Court. Sorry. No. Well, Barron's Court isn't far from Earl's Court. There's actually a TARDIS phone box in Earl's Court. I took a picture of it, and you can take pictures next to it, and you can pretend you're the Doctor. For those of you who don't know what a TARDIS is, it's a Doctor Who. It's a show called Doctor Who where the main character's he's an alien. He like travels throughout time and space in a police telephone phone box, and it's pretty interesting here and there if you're into sci-fi stuff. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but ultimately, yes, you want to make sure. Yeah, it's in Earl's Court. It's in Earl's Court. Like you can stand outside of Earl's Court Station, and there's a TARDIS right there. You can take pictures. I love it. But polyamory and polyandry are abominations. So give us the devil's argument for that. Okay, here's what I would say. Now, obviously, Scripture does condemn polyamory, right, and polygamy. I'm not saying that people should be in a polyamorous or polygamy relationship, but devil's advocate, what one person would say is that if a man is very wealthy and he's under that kind of system, then surely he can provide for more people than opposed to a man who is not as wealthy and can only provide for, say, himself and barely even his wife. Like, a lot of marriages nowadays, it's a two household income where the man is making his money, the woman is making his money, and they come together and they, tackle life as best as they can. But in most polygamous and polyamory relationships, not all, but there is the idea of the man being a very wealthy man who's able to take care of more people, to take care of more women and take care of more children. So a devil's advocate argument for that would be that, economically speaking, there is a benefit to having that because the government wouldn't have to provide for so many women if the man is willing to take, a wealthy man is willing to take on that burden on himself. Even in some African countries, they still do this, where polygamy is not necessarily, it's not a sexual, it's not a sexual, it's not for fun, it's not for gratification. It's not like a lot of people look at polygamy and think, oh well, if I have 5 wives, I'm gonna just have my fun with all. Obviously, yes, that is a part of it, but it's not just for any and everybody. It was for people that were wealthy enough in some African countries. Back in the day, it was for people that were wealthy enough to take on more responsibility, so that women weren't just out there and never had a man to take care of themselves. Well, obviously now with modernization, things are different. Women can have jobs. They can provide for themselves, things like that. So it's a little different. It's just the economic system you live in has made marriage so hard and stressful. Yeah, and Cars, I mentioned early on in the live that money is part of this. Money is always going to be part of the conversation. Like you cannot separate relationships, marriage, and stuff like that, and government without the subject of money coming to play. But and let's be real, like there are women out there who, if you are wealthy enough and have enough influence and power, they don't mind sharing a husband. Not all women. There are women who, no matter how rich you are, powerful you are, will never agree to it. But you cannot deny that there are some women out there who, if you had enough money, if you had enough resources, if you had enough followers on social media and all that other stuff, then they would be willing to share a man with a woman as long as that man continues to provide for them and the kids that come from that particular union. Some women would be willing to do it. I'm not saying it's a popular thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that that's a reality. I recall hearing as a kid a tale of a normal chicken that laid golden eggs, and in short order, it's the owner killed and opened it out of greed and was left without any further gold. I remember something like that. That's a UK story, isn't that? That's more of a UK story. I was told a similar tale in nursery as well. I remember that. That's more of a UK story, I think. Cars, are you from America? I think it might be just a Western story, but I remember getting told something like that in nursery as well, like one of those old school like nursery stories. Worcestershire. Okay, yeah, you're from yeah, Worcestershire. Cool. So all right. Therefore, Allah and Satan are banished to. Oh wow, Asmodeus, Molech. Aren't those Asmodeus, Molech? Mammon was the representation of money. I know Asmodeus. Molech is a. I remember reading from the Bible. He's like an old deity from the Old Testament, isn't he? Like one of the. He's a pagan god from the Old Testament. Is it? I'm pretty sure that's correct. Like that's where the name Molech comes from. Asmodeus, I think that's more of a Catholic. I don't remember the. No, I don't remember correctly, but Asmodeus, I'm pretty sure he's one of the in Catholic religion. He's known as one of the princes of hell. Is that correct? I don't remember reading that name in the Bible. I think it might be that, or he's mentioned in the Old Testament. I'm not going to get too much into all that, but the point is, um, I just think, yeah, on the economic system that you live in, there's going to be different priorities. People are going to have different like mindsets with things. If you didn't want, okay, now we're moving into a different now we're moving into a slightly different conversation here. If you didn't want gay men and lesbian women to exist, then you should have done your jobs to protect them because many of them were raped and molested. Um, I never mentioned the conversation was not about um, gay men or lesbian men. The conversation was about marriage and long-term relationships and how viable it is to sustain said monogamous long-term relationships in this society. Conversation wasn't necessarily about that. We're kind of going off into a bit of a tangent here, but um, if you want me to address that briefly, um, I'm not going to speak so much about how that ties into religious orders. I know that there's a lot of corruption that happens here and there. People are taken advantage of, and that scars them for the rest of their lives. That can happen. But again, we're not living in a perfect world here. And that's exactly what goes to my original point with marriage and relationships. Because we don't live in a perfect world. And KYD, you've even the principal idea of what you're saying here links with what I was saying as it relates to marriage. You're saying if you didn't want these people to exist, then you should have done X. So if you didn't want Y to exist, then you should have done X, right? And I'm saying because I don't want to get screwed over under the UK government in a marriage or a long-term relationship, therefore I'm preempting it by making sure that I don't do certain things to get involved to begin with. That's what I'm ultimately saying. So even though you've taken it to a slightly different subject, the principle of what you're going at is the same. Be preemptive, right? Look at things pragmatically, right? Look at things in a way where how can you prevent one outcome from happening without, investing too much into it? That's what I'm saying. KYD, it's not about religion. Marriage can be involved in every life fields. Hold on. While heterosexual have abused so many humans, they have been tyrannical in their pursuit to harm those who. Well, tyranny, that's everybody. Now, okay, you could make the case that obviously there are more heterosexual people than people that have pursued a different life path. Let's just call it that. Majority of people in the world are heterosexual. So therefore, because majority of people in the world are heterosexual, therefore majority of those people are going to, be tyrannical because most people are heterosexual anyway, and most people who are tyrants, some of them obviously, people can indulge in whatever they indulge in, but most of those people are going to be heterosexual because most people are heterosexual anyway. So that doesn't really address the point. But hold on, let me go here. In theology, Yahweh, Allah, Amun Ra, why we say Amen, Lucifer, Totht, were high chain of command, interstellar terraform commanders, gods, always dirty talking each other, demanding monotheism. Interesting perspective. Interesting perspective. Does anyone have anything to address KYD? Since you're the one that brought religion into this, what's your answer to that? Should have been putting your dick where it didn't belong, and for that they deserve to be castrated. Well, okay. Anyone that does sexually abuse someone, regardless of their gender, should be punished severely, of course. But again, I think we're going off on slightly going on. Obviously, these points relate to ultimately what we're saying, but let's try to keep it more in touch with what the main subject is. Main subject was marriage, and if is it worth it? Is long-term relationships worth it? But okay, yeah, let's go off on a tangent a little bit, but I'm always going to bring it back to the original point. Now, with monotheism, I'm glad that you actually brought up monotheism. Majority of these relationships are, hold on, okay, what's your career? All right, let me go off on another tangent. So for me, I predominantly work in finance as a junior accountant, trainee accountant. So I did economics at university, and my main thing that I do currently is financial work. So accounting work, economic reporting, things like that. However, that's not the only thing I currently do. I also work in a gym studio, and I have my own fitness business, which has online clients, in-person clients, YouTube, merch, etc. Now, to cut a long story short, and I have like another side gig. So technically, I've got 4 jobs. Well, 3 jobs and my business. Now, when I was 25, I started to be a bit more honest with myself in terms of what I really wanted, because finance was something I did at university, and therefore you do it after university, but it was not something I genuinely had a passion for, not something I genuinely cared about. Just something I did as, you just do things at university when you're younger. You don't really think too much about it, which I think you should think about, especially if you're going into debt for it. But I started to look at more people online who were able to monetize their passions, and I started to be more honest with myself. And I said, all right, let me go off in that direction. I'm not going to be silly and quit my job straight away, but I'm going to go off in that direction. I'm going to create my own business centered around fitness and gymnastics and stuff like that I love. And I'm going to build the leverage on that up so that eventually I can get to a point where I can use my business to replace working for, you know, financial corporations, banks, and stuff like that. So I'm getting closer towards that end, but right now, I'm still holding on to the finance thing for a little bit, because obviously it pays enough I can raise enough money and capital, which I'm using to invest in my business and other things. But yeah, so to cut a long story short, finance, fitness, my own fitness business, and a little side gig that I have for a different fitness company. So I've got like basically 3 jobs in a business. Okay, how would AI affect my career? Is you would still need a human to do that, so it wouldn't really affect it much. I mean, I would say invoice processing is automated to a certain extent. With platforms like Zero, I don't know if you guys know, but accounting software packages like Zero, you can automate certain things to a certain extent, but you'll still need a human to run that, like bank reconciliations, payment runs, payroll as well. You're going to need a human to do majority of that. So AI wouldn't necessarily affect that line of work too much. But I think that everybody, if you want true freedom, true autonomy of your time and your life, you should try to find an online business. You should try to make an online business or something that you can do to monetize your genuine passions, so that you're not giving so much of your energy towards something that you don't care about, but you're doing it for survival. Like Tomato mentioned something earlier, that obviously we're all given a certain amount of life, and we need to invest that time frugally, which just means, be very cautious about the time that you're investing. And I think work is going to be something that you do for the majority of your life. You're going to be working for the majority of your life until you retire. A lot of those hours, a lot of people, and yeah, I'm gonna go back to what we were talking in a moment, but let me just address this point. Hey Latoya, how you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're okay. But work is going to be something that you're going to do for the majority of your life. And if you're stuck doing something that you don't want to do, but you're doing it because of the money, the survival, etc., to provide for your family,
Noble efforts, I understand that, but wouldn't you prefer to invest that time into work that you genuinely find passionate, that you genuinely enjoy doing, and that there's a profitable market for doing? Me, the fitness market, the fitness industry is not dying out anytime soon, especially with the advent of COVID, of what happened with COVID. People are way more conscious about their health now than ever before. And there's a lot of online work going on um, to promote that. So fitness is something that you can make a lot of money off, especially if you're someone like me who, is very diligent with fitness, and you've got certain skills in that industry where people are not. Most people that go to the gym can't do what I can do, but I'm going off in that direction of being like a top performer in fitness and everything else. And there's good money in it even now. Like I'm fortunate enough to where I haven't even began to really try to get loads of clients and online clients and make loads of sales with merch and courses and mobile phone training. There's loads of ways you can make loads of money with a fitness brand. Tons of ways. I can name at least 10 different ways you can do that. But even right now, as I'm still in my building of value phase, I've been fortunate enough to where my YouTube's monetized. I've got online clients, I've got in-person clients. There are some people that buy my merchandise, things like that. So it's doing very well. But the opportunity for massive growth is there. But this is why I'm using the time right now to not indulge in relationships and things like that, but to focus on that so I can get what I want to get to with my own freedom. So that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not doing work that I don't care about. I'm doing work that I genuinely love, and it's my own thing. Now, I take it a step further because for me, I want to create a brand and a system similar to Gymshark that's like worldwide, and it's my own creation. It's something that I'm genuinely proud of. I don't think it's bad working for someone if that's what you want to do. But me, I want to create. I like the idea of creating my own systems, my own sort of like having my own sort of impact and impacting the world with that. I like the idea of that. That speaks more to me as an individual, more than working in a bank, working for big corporations, doing finance work and things like that, which is stuff that I've been doing for years. So yeah, hold on. Let me read Tomato. Okay, I'm bringing it back to the general conversation. The final frontier for AI to master in the category of replacing all human jobs. The ultimate greatest challenge for AI seems to be our tolerance, acceptance, and ability to be so stupid sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the whole AI thing, a lot of people are concerned that AI will take their jobs, and the AI is definitely growing. But with something like finance, there will be some processes that AI can do. But again, if you're doing bank reconciliations and running payroll for a whole organization, yeah, I can see AI maybe doing that. But the inputting of the data, a human's gonna have to do that. Someone's gonna have to punch in some keys on the keyboard, and let the system know how many hours they work, what their rate is, sick pay, things like that. If they're still in their probation period of work, if they're entitled to sick pay or not, holiday pay, allowances, deductions for whatever reason, you're still going to need a human to govern all of that. So there are some industries where finance is one of them, in my opinion, where you still need a human. And if you need a human, then AI can't necessarily threaten your job. Obviously, AI can make your job a little bit easier with improved software packages that do a lot of the work. Like Zero, I don't know if you guys know Zero accounting software. Like a lot of businesses use Zero because it's very user friendly, it's very easy to use, and the aesthetic of it looks very nice. And a lot of people use that platform as opposed to something older like Sage 200 or QuickBooks to manage their finances. Chaff, take care. Hold on, let's pin to Tomato up, and I believe Latoya is still there. Thank you, Chaff, for contributing to the conversation, and enjoy the rest of your day. So, yeah, I think AI, as long as you make yourself exceptional, as long as you keep working on your skills and everything else, then AI won't necessarily be too big of a threat to you. But I think it's something you should be cautious of, especially if you're going in a way of creating your own business. Then AI can utilize it, use it. Like for me, I use AI very sparingly. Like I use AI in the form of Chat GPT. Now, I told you guys recently that I'm in the process of building my email mailing list. Now, every business that is serious
should get in the process of creating a mailing list. So a mailing list is just a list of email contacts that you contact people with, whatever business you're in. So if you're, let's say you're a glassmaker and you have a mailing list of 100 people, you know, you would be sending emails out once a week or however often each week you send emails to about, maybe the importance of glassmaking or why you need to, you know, protect or wipe your windows. That, you know what I mean? Like subjects that you can send out to people every single week to provide value as to why your business matters. Now, for someone like me who's in the health and fitness industry, and health and fitness ties into modeling and aesthetics as well, there is a whole world of content that I can send people out via email. Now, when it comes to the subjects of my email, I use, and currently I've got 720 people on my mailing list, which for someone who's just starting out is very, very good. I'll explain why a mailing list is very important later. But let me quickly read this. Skynet was definitely a canary in mine. Red flag. The fact that we even ever imagine such concept now. Imagine what AI could imagine and not indulge out self-realization to not tell on itself. Yeah, I mean, AI can be very, very. I mean, if you just look at the technological advancements in places like Japan, the potential for it is vast. I mean, like it's quite scary what it could do. So imagine, who knows, in like 20 years from now, what AI and technology could accomplish. It sounds good, but hey, it could spell out some problems for us if it's not kept in check. But as I was saying before, I use ChatGPT to just help me get ideas of what subjects to send people on a weekly basis. So the last email I sent to people, I sent out to 600. I had 610 people on my mailing list last week. Now I've got 720. I've been growing fast, guys. I've been putting in the work. I told you, that's why I'm busy focusing on myself. Have to go now, Bernard. Thanks for the stream. Bye, everyone. Take care, Lily. I'll see you on the next one. I'll join you in your live show when you go on Tuesday. But yeah, so I use ChatGPT to help me get ideas, but I write the articles myself. But I use ChatGPT to give me ideas and to help me kind of like have a framework with how the article should go. And then I add the images, and then I add more subjects, and I do everything else to add more of a human touch to it. So I definitely use AI to a certain extent, but I'm not 100% automated with AI. Like a lot of the work that I do right now with my brand, I do the work myself. Like I put in that work. So there's a human element to that. In less than 5 years, AI will be able to successfully lie, gaslight, and manipulate our views. Yeah, that's already happening. There are AI girlfriends now. There are AI men. There are AI relationships. Like there are even 3 years ago, this was not a thing. This is how quickly this is how rapidly this thing's growing. Hi Albert, how you doing? We'll go to Albert in a moment. Okay, let's pin Albert up. Everyone go to Albert's pin channel and connect with his latest videos. But 3 years ago, there were no AI. Like, I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. There are whole profiles of men and women, AI generated, that thousands upon thousands of people follow. These people are not real. They're characters made by AI that some human being has made, and they're very popular. And there are people who create like OnlyFans accounts based off of those AI characters. So if you really want to go through the trouble, there are people who create like, ostensibly very attractive females on Instagram. They build they post very, sexually suggestive videos and all that other stuff. I don't want to say too much about that because it's YouTube. There's only, certain things I can and cannot say or should not say. But they will create whole profiles on Instagram with very suggestive posts of these individuals, then create an OnlyFans based off of that AI generated character, and people will pay money towards seeing that AI generated character. So it's wild. It is absolutely wild what AI is doing. AI girlfriends, AI boyfriends, AI adult performers, mattress actresses, mattress actors, all this stuff is crazy on Instagram. And some people are trying to put that into the fitness industry. So with the fitness industry, the industry I'm involved in, there are AI generated characters as well, where people are creating characters to do like workouts and animations and things like that, and they can get a large following too. So it's wild.
It's absolutely wild what's going on out there. But guys, we've been streaming for 2 hours. I'm gonna go in about 10 minutes because I've got some other things I need to do with my day. But it's been great talking to you all. I've loved the conversation. I'm gonna go live again. Maybe the exact same time next week. But if you want to talk more, follow my YouTube. Oh, sorry, yeah. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, I imagine you probably are. But go to my Instagram page and give me a follow on Instagram, and from there we can talk, we can connect, and we can, I can put you on more live shows and get you more exposure to other people's channel, and push your content out there a little bit more. But I should probably go now. Actually, it's been 2 hours. Normally I stream for like an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours. um yeah, so great conversation, guys. I've enjoyed it. It's been a good eye opener. Just one last thing I will end on before I leave is I just think that people need to not look at things so idealistically, whether it's marriage or relationships, business, whatever it is. I think people need to look at things. Obviously, have your ideals, have your faith, have your morals, have all of that. That's all good, but don't have that at the cost of not looking at what practically happens in real life. Like, I think there should be an element of pragmatism where you're looking at things and you're saying, okay, my ideals and morals say it's good to do this, but if I do this, reality and the laws and everything else like that, this might go, it might bounce badly on me. It might not go so well for me. So what are the pros and cons of this? What do I have to do to sort of get the most out of this? Do I invest in it? Do I not invest in it? I'm not very I'm not very keen on jumping into anything without doing my anything serious, without doing my homework on it, without looking at it. And even after you do your homework, it can still go wrong. Even if you do your homework, you still say, yeah, you know what, I've weighed out the pros and cons, I want to do it anyway. It can still go horribly wrong for you. Don't get me wrong, like, it happens all the time. But is it wise to not look at that and say it's okay to do all of this without looking at it? No, I think it's silly. I think you should definitely make sure that you do your homework, do your due diligence, and then weigh out and then make a decision and then live with your decision after that, whatever happens. Friend, I'm not very good at English, but if you can promote, I really appreciate you and my show's success. Okay, hold on, Velos. I remember you. You're from I can't pronounce his name, but I know the live show that I met you on. I've subscribed to your channel. So let me pin you up. Let me pin you up. And everybody, please go to you're a moderator now. So you should be able to share your links and everything else, and we can pin that up. And you should be able to tap on other people's channels and connect to those as well. I'm about to go in a moment, so I'll give you like maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes, so that your channel can get a bit more exposure and you can get a few more subscribers and supporters. But hold on, what do we have here? I've got a new message of, oh my days, that's a bit weird. Oh, also, guys, I've got to mention, I've got my YouTube video, the latest shorts video. If you can watch it, like, comment, and share, that would be great. I'm not expecting you to share if it's too much hassle. You don't need to share it in your community tab. You don't need to go to that sort of lengths if you don't want to. But if you can at least click on my latest shorts video, like, comment, save it on your playlist or something, and maybe just copy the link and share it with your friend on some other social media platform or your WhatsApp or something like that. I would greatly appreciate that. You'd be doing me a huge favor because I just recently posted it. Sorry, my WhatsApp message. I'm getting some messages from some clients of mine. Okay, we can deal with that later. I'll deal with that later. It's not. Obviously, my clients are very important to me, but it's not a message that needs to be addressed straight away. I can always deal with that later on down the line. Okay. Hello, Special K. I was about to end the live show because it's been 2 hours already. But we've had some pretty good conversations on here. Some interesting perspectives were shared. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I'm probably gonna go in a moment though, because I need to get back to building up my email mailing list and doing a little bit work with my clients' programs and stuff like that. And I should probably go to the shop as well. So yeah, but I don't mind. I can go a few more minutes. Oh, is it? So sorry, I was working. No. You don't need to apologize. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Special K, if you could do me a favor, could you go to my latest shorts video, like and comment, please? I would greatly appreciate that if you could do that. No problem. Have a lovely Sunday. Or if you need to leave, then that's absolutely fine. We'll go a few more minutes because some more people are coming in, and I want to give you guys some time to connect to each other and make some friends, get some more subscribers, that sort of thing. But see, Azan's here now. More people are coming in. That always happens. Like literally, when I'm about to go, more people want to come in. Azan, hey, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. Azan, could you do me a favor? Could you go to my latest shorts video, drop a like, drop a comment, and give a comment? I think I watched, but never commented. Sorry. Oh yeah, by the way, some people aren't able to comment on my shorts videos. It's just the bug with YouTube. It's not my channel specifically. It's not exclusive to just my channel because there are some people's channels where I go on their shorts videos and I can't comment either. I don't know what it is. I assume it's just like a bug in the system, something like that. But yeah, Azan, I'm gonna go to your channel as well. I'm gonna go to your channel right now, Azan, and I'm gonna give you some support. I watched your recent shorts videos though. Hold on, Albert. Hold on. We're in Azan's channel right now. So yeah, I looked at this one and I commented, great shoulder exercise. Let me go on slightly old. Oh, Azan, you're like me. You haven't got long videos yet. You've only got shorts and lives. Okay, let's do this one. Barbell front raise. So this is an anterior raise. Thanks, my bro. I'm shy. Don't be shy, bro. Don't be shy. I'm gonna go to tomato next. Don't be shy, man. Like, if you have Azan, what's your goal with YouTube? Are you trying to get to like a million subs or something? Hold on, let me go to let's go to Albert. I'm gonna go to Albert's video. Okay, so Albert. All right. I'm in Albert's channel now. Albert, how old are you? Yeah, Azan, we're similar. I'm trying to be famous because my friends bully me. 8. You're 8 years old. You're a bit too young to be here, aren't you? I mean, if you're here, but you're way younger than I expected. Yeah. Albert, was not expecting it. You're like 8 years old. What's going on, man? I think some of the concepts that we were talking about in this live show are a bit beyond your years. 8, 10, split the difference. Look, you're not even a teenager yet. Whether you're 8 or 10, you're still like way too young to be here, especially with some of the conversations we had. We're not going to kick you out. Don't get me wrong or anything like that. But wow, okay. But you said that you're trying to be famous because people bully you. Is that correct? My sympathies for your plight. Actually, let me not talk like that because you don't probably really understand that language. I feel sorry for you if that's the case. But I mean, we all go through our scrapes in life. What's your goal with YouTube then? So is YouTube like a place where you just create content, be creative, and just sort of escape from all of that? Like, what's your reason for being that? Do you really think being famous is going to help with your situation?
Okay, wait, let me go to Tomato's channel first. Tomato, didn't you say you had a main channel? All right. So, Tomato, I'm going to subscribe to your channel. Yeah, listen to Special K. Don't have to be on YouTube to prove something to these people. Now, that doesn't mean that you should get off YouTube and that you should stop creating content. Like, if that's what you want to do and your parents are cool with it, create the content. But just understand that, you know, the internet can be a very strange place. So just bear that in mind. Yes, I'm trying to prove them wrong because they bully me and say I'm poor. I see. So your agenda is to go on YouTube, get a whole bunch of subscribers, get famous, monetized, and translate that to money, so therefore they're wrong. That's essentially what you're trying to do, right? Your joke around channel. Okay, so I've subscribed to your actual chat, like your joke around channel, and I'm gonna watch your videos and comment, but I'm also going to subscribe to your main channel as well. If you're on Instagram, Tomato, then send me a DM. Or like, you know, yeah, just send me a DM. My Instagram is obviously it's Apex State. It's the same name and same logo. You can send me a message on Instagram with the link to your main channel, and I'll subscribe to that channel as well. But let's see here. Let me read some more comments. Stroke around channel. I'm a bit confused here with what happened, but don't have Instagram. Okay, well, what's the name of your main channel? So I'm in the first shorts video here. Albert, answer me this. Do your parents know that you're on YouTube? Like, do they know? Do they regulate your channel or anything like that? Because they make America welding. Albert, yeah, Albert, I'm asking you. You're like 10 years old. Do your parents know that you're on YouTube? And if not, I think maybe you should tell them. Yeah, you, Albert. I think you should tell your parents that you're on YouTube, because that way they might be able to help you to push your content out a little bit more in some way. Okay, I'm going to type that up. Make America welding. All right, now let's filter the search out so we're only looking at channels. Obviously, I don't know what your channel looks like. So, okay, there's Make America Welding Construction, which has 24 subscribers. Is that you? America Welding, JK Welding, support with. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So that was you. That was you. This is the channel right here, yeah? Make America Welding Construction. I see. Okay. So I subscribed to your joke around one. I'm going to subscribe to your real one in a second. Just watching the video right now. It's always good to watch the video, like, comment, and then subscribe, guys. And also, I don't leave. I try not to use emojis as comments, guys. Like it's not bad to do, like, you know, free flames or something like that. But the creator of whatever content you're watching, especially if it's someone in a networking group like this, would appreciate a more tangible comment, a worded comment. It could be a mix. It could be a mix of words with an emoji or emojis. That's fine. But in my opinion, an emoji comment by itself, it's kind of lazy. It is kind of lazy, especially, again, you might not even understand what's going on in the video. If you don't understand what's going on in the video, like it's in another language or something, then you could just say something like, hey, I'm watching from London or wherever you're, wherever you're watching, like that's much better than just like an emoji comment. So I'm gonna leave a comment right now. This is inspiring me to step. I'm leaving a comment on your video to step America. This is inspiring me to step up my handyman skills. I need to work more on my handyman skills. I'm not too bad, but I need to step my game up with a few things. Hey Tony, hey, how you doing? Special K, I haven't even seen your comment. Guys, I'm not singling anyone out here. I'm not saying that you gave me an emoji comment and I'm attacking you for that. I'm not doing that. I just mean in general. Like that's a rule that I have with any platform. Any social media platform. Any comment that I leave, if I truly do not understand, I try not to just leave an emoji comment. I'll leave an emoji comment with some words, but that way it's more tangible. It's like a proper comment. And I like to give a comment that is actually more relevant to what's going on in the video. Like I don't leave comments saying, "Hey, I saw you from this person's live show." Like, bruh, come on. I don't do that, man. I don't do that. Apex, sorry, I have to run, doing some work. Catch up soon. No worries. Take care. Take care, Special K. Take care. Isn't Special K a cereal? Cool. Tony, hey, how you doing? Extreme Fitness Junkies. Let's go to Extreme Fitness Junkies. Guys, I need to go in a minute though. So I've finished the videos with Make America Welding. Even a video like great work is awesome, guys. Like just saying that, great work. Better than nothing. Great work, smiley face. Much better than just having like 5 smiley faces as the emoji comment. Nah. Don't be too lazy, guys. Great work. Off I go, champ. Godspeed to you, mate. See you next. Yeah, man. See you next time. I'm gonna be on live around the same time. I'm gonna put like a note up there, and people could go to my channel and go to my live section tab, and then from there you'll be able to see when the next live show is, or just subscribe to my channel, hit all on the notifications, and whenever I go live, you'll see it. That's another easier option. But cool, Tomato. Great having you here. You provided amazing perspective. And good luck. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, okay, yeah. So your grandmother called you Special K. Fair enough. So you was called that before the cereal ever came out. My apologies. Okay, that's another comment. Nice. And okay, yeah. Make America Welding only has shorts videos. Okay, I see. Not bad. Not bad. Also, guys, I send out one email once a week to everybody on my fitness newsletter publication. So if you guys have an email and you'd be interested in receiving one fitness and health tip email every single week, then feel free to DM me on Instagram to share your email with me. I can add that to my list, and then you'll receive weekly publications via email from me. And there's a whole bunch of value I provide in there: health tips, fitness tips, gym tips, answered questions on flexibility, promoting more packages and services, things like that, things that are beneficial for people's health and fitness, and all that other stuff. My plan, however, is not to sell anything to people until I reach maybe 3,000 emails. Right now, I've got 720, so it's growing. So there's going to be an extensive period of time of just value building before I even sell anything. And even when I do start selling to people, I'm not going to bombard people with like sales messages all the time. Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe put a sales email out there if people are interested in the offer. Then yeah, probably start out with a course, a flexibility and mobility course. People that struggle with touching their toes, they feel stiff in their body, older people that struggle to, move in general, then I can see a course like that being very beneficial for them. And even younger people as well, who are just very stiff, tight hamstrings, can't run, things like that. A mobility and flexibility course is amazing, assuming you stick with it and you train with it, of course. So, yeah, no, that courses like that do very well on the market. So my plan is to wait till about 3,000 emails and then start selling to people on that end. Right now, I don't really sell anything. I don't sell anything at all. People just come to me wanting to be clients and all that other stuff, and I'm busy with other things as well. So it's a slow build, but I prefer to go slower and make sure that things hit when I'm ready to launch than to rush and try to get the products and services out there and just be so desperate for sales. I think that's a bad tactic. It's not evil, because I understand it's, business is business. It's not a bad thing to want to make money with your business, but I prefer to have a value building stage where I give everybody massive incentive, massive reason to purchase from me, to before I even make the sale offer to them. Before the sale offer even goes to them, I want to make sure that I provided a Black Money Corp. Hey, how you doing, man? Let me give you a moderator. It's been a while since I've seen you. Happy New Year to you, because obviously last time I saw you was in 2024. It's been a while. Let's give Black Money Corp some attention. So everyone go to his pin channel, like and comment. But as I was saying, I prefer to build up as much value as possible with people before even making a sale, because a lot of people, one of the reasons why people are so frustrated with sales is because they do it when the leads they're not even really leads, they're just cold prospects. You don't really want to do that. Like, if you want to have like sales and prolonged success with that, you want to build up. Julia, of course I remember you. You was in the last live show. How you doing? But in order to build up momentum with that, you want to make sure that you're providing as much value as possible, to where when you make your offer, it's almost a no-brainer in the prospect's mind to purchase whatever you're selling. Very hard to do that if you've just created your service, you've just created your product, and are just marketing it out to people. There will be people that are interested, but if you want continuous momentum with sales and stuff, in my opinion, and I believe this is true, and it makes sense, it's best to go through a period of value building and building up value with many people, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. And obviously, there'll be a percentage of those people who eventually become customers, who eventually become clients, whether online, in person, whatever it is that you're selling. Like, people have asked me recently, how have I managed to grow my mailing list up to like 720 people in virtually like a couple of months? Now, it's not true that I had like maybe 200 people in my mailing list before I started sending out emails to people, but only in the past couple of weeks have I really been focused on building up the mailing list. And one of the reasons why it's been easy for me to get like 100 emails in each week is because on my Instagram, I'm having a good day, Julia. I hope you are too. I'm about to go soon, but I'm just ending on some points. Just that people keep coming back in and back in and back in, and I want to accommodate people as much as possible. But yeah, one of the things that's helped me is because before I even started asking people anything on Instagram, I spent a long time building up a lot of value with people, making content, supporting their page, liking and commenting, reaching out to them, building rapport with them, etc. To the point where I've got 12,000 subs on Instagram now, and the engagement's really good. So because I spent a long time building up that value and rapport with people, the vast majority of them, when I asked them, "Hey, can I have your email? Because I've got a newsletter that I want to send." That I think you'd be interested in, and I want to send some content out to you. Vast majority, not everybody says yes. Vast majority of people do say yes. Vast majority are like, oh yeah, here's my email. Glad to support. Love it. When am I going to get the next email? And the emails that I do send out, it's not uncommon for me to get responses where people respond back to me on email and say, hey, I really like this week's publication. You spoke a lot about the importance of, protein intake, and I'm starting to monitor my protein intake even more. Thank you. Stuff like that. But that only came because of the rapport and value I built. If I had like maybe 500 followers on Instagram, a private page, didn't post that much content,
the content wasn't that good, and then I tried to make the request for people to give me their email, I probably would not get as many emails as quickly as I've gained it right now. So your perception and how people view you online, it does matter, especially if you're trying to build up quickly and build up like an online system of business. You want to make sure that your presentation of your branding of yourself is good and it fits whatever you're trying to do. So for me, I can come on in a vest because obviously I'm a gym guy. It's fine. But if you were doing finance or something a bit more obviously fitness is serious, but you know, it can be the way you portray yourself with fitness. You don't have to be wearing a suit, for instance. Maybe you should come on live with a suit on, with a proper setup, things like that. It depends on what industry you're kind of like working in as well. There are different rules for different industries, and there are different things that everyone can kind of do, and things that people can kind of get away with. Well, okay, guys, look, I think we've had a great live show. I definitely need to go now. It's been a long time, so enjoy, guys. I'm going to come back on live next week, Sunday, roughly around the same time. Subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and click all so that every single post that I make, you'll see it. So whenever I go live, you'll see it and you can just join in and we can continue networking with each other. But okay, take care. Thanks and bye.